Okay, first of all, just introduce yourself, where we are, what you do.
Okay.
But in a short way, okay?
Yeah, hello everybody. We are here in Morocco, in the ocean coast. I think around a couple of 100 kilometers south of Rabat. And we're here in the nature place on a very beautiful dune. Yeah, my name is Martin. I live in Austria. I'm a traveler and I like my home as well. I have a family, one child, my wife. And yeah, what I do is since around 20 years I'm involved in somehow in English. We are talking
No,
English.
it's good. You started in English, keep going
Yeah.
in English.
And yeah, since around 20 years I'm involved in somehow how to elevate people mentally, emotionally, physically. And in the last 2 years I was focusing more on mental health of men. And so now I work in an Austrian Foundation who is sponsored by the government to help men to recover, to be a man. Yeah.
What kind of issues lead men to the foundation? What are the traumas or the issues that draw them first?
Yeah, first of all, I must say that somehow in the genes of the man is that they have the belief, the illusion more, I would say, that they have to solve their problems themselves. So, and the pain must be so big that man open himself to ask for help. Yeah? Because to ask for help is somehow a thing what man believe that it makes him not accurate, not strong, not. This is not like a man have to be.
Yeah, even if you think of the cliche,
I'm talking from the cliche. I just
the road directions.
Yeah.
Everyone says a man will never ask directions. The woman will. It's funny, but it's also kind of true. Until you're very lost, I can work it out. You know?
Yeah. This is the irrational belief of the man. One of the beliefs, one of these typical cliches you're talking. Well, and yeah, and now the men come to the foundation when the life is a mess. Yeah, when they lose their job, when their wife are gone, when the children say I hate you, and then they start through this pain. They wake up and open themselves. And then slowly through this pain, so the pain somehow is the medicine which opens the heart of the man, and then the man starts to, I would say, grow in consciousness. Or then the chance starts, and that's what is my job when they are start to open. They offer them ideas, thoughts, arguments, new perspectives to live a more fulfilled life as a man.
Is there generally a typical age for the men that come?
Actually, I would say there are two ages, because now we are somehow in a new age that also the younger people are starting to open themselves because they see how wrong their parents do. So they recognize already there is something wrong. I would like to live a different life than I see it in my parents' life. So that are the younger generation, they are 20, I would say, yeah. And the older generation, like I am, is 50, 40, 50, 60, when they go into their crisis, and they do, if they want or not, then they are showing up. Yeah. So when you ask me what is the average, I would say 45.
45.
Yeah. So this is somehow when the men come into this midlife crisis. Yeah, this is when the midlife, when the soul say, hey, there's more to perceive, to get from life. And then with the pain, the process opens and starts. Yeah.
Does the foundation have one set of tools or philosophy or religion, or different things they use?
Well, so that we are sponsored by the government, so we are we try to be very neutral. Yeah, so we have no religion rules. We have no. I would more say it's based on how to say in English. Soziologische Studien.
Yeah.
Yeah, social.
Sociological studies.
Yeah, it's based.
Papers.
It's based on sociological studies, and one of these bases is feminism.
Okay.
You can say it. You can see it on different perspectives what feminism is, but finally, when I bring it down to one sentence, feminism is nothing else than men and women are the same. Yeah, and the feminism is looking forward to bring the man in a position that he realizes when he bring himself into the care work. Yeah, the care work, the children work, the care work for the house, that this is not something which is for women. Yeah, women have to do that traditionally. When men go into this care work, he recognized that this have a big impact on the relation. So there is coming up more love, more freedom, and this is a way against the patriarchal system.
It's interesting that you use the term feminism, because I react.
I know it's very. It's
but wait. But then you describe it, and I think of every traditional culture I've lived in, because in the Bedouin, in the Berbers, in even just old traditional like Italians, raising the children, all of these things you mentioned, with the exception maybe of washing clothes, okay, is both parents. Each parent has a role. The father has a role during the day, the mother has a role in different things. To me, that's traditional that we've lost, but it's interesting that to use it today, we have to give the name feminism to it. Because some of feminism, for me, and I'm saying this so that you react, agree, disagree.
oh yeah, of course.
Too much of feminism has been misconceived as revenge. What do you think of that?
Well,
do you know what I mean by that? First?
no.
Okay,
no,
let's start there.
Yeah.
Too many women that get involved. Like I was raised in a family where men and women are equal. We have the same expectations. We've all gone on to great things. So I have always just accepted this is the way it is. We are different in some ways, but we can have equal lives, equal expectations. So when feminism started, I got involved. It seemed natural to me, only to have many women tell me I was the problem and I couldn't help them. So now I hear you using feminism for men. I'm confused.
Yeah. So
wait, let me light this, because otherwise we hear the click in your answer.
At first, I must say that feminism have many aspects. Of course, it would fill maybe a day reportage when we talk about feminism, but I was focusing on one aspect, so about the care work for the men. And another big point of feminism is that the feminism focus on the benefit what the patriarchal system have for the man. And this is mostly unconscious. And this is the problem, because the men who who are socialized in the system of patriarchat, they don't recognize the benefits. Yeah, for them, that's normal. So I have my rule, I bring home the money, and the wife cooks, takes care about the children, and that's it. So that's what you were talking. Everybody have his rules. But the downside of the patriarchal system is that the men, of course, have some benefits, but on the other side, they have to pay for. Yeah? So they have to pay for in many ways, and this is also focused by the feminism, that this paying for the benefits somehow, how to say, have an impact of the inner peace and the quality of the relationship to the woman. Yeah. Finally, the feminism and the patriarchal system, we recognize a big separation in the society, I would say, and yeah, we have to go through that, yeah, to make things more, to bring more freedom in the whole life.
There's two things that came to mind. The first thing is, I know and grew up in a society that actually started matriarchal. Lebanon is a matriarchal society. The men believe they are in power, but it started matriarchal, and it's still run by the women. There's not a man that decides anything that doesn't go and check first, or women are running it. I also know that in the Etruscans, once again, were matriarchal. There's 4 societies I can think of that are all matriarchal, and even though they developed, they were always peaceful. Lebanon has always been a country of peace. Unfortunately, the Etruscans showed the Romans all their technology, not realizing the Romans would just wipe them out. So why is it, or what do you think about this, that matriarchal societies often still develop innovation, still develop industry, things like that, but tend to be more about getting things done than acquiring?
Well,
and maybe that's, I've assumed too much. It's just an open topic, yeah.
I did not get the point of your
Okay.
question.
Yeah, let me take it a different direction.
Yeah.
Okay, let me take it a different direction, might answer the same thing. I've lived in Austria. I had probably one of the worst experiences of my life living in Austria.
Really?
Love the country. I think the people are good, but there's one thing that I can't get over. Austrian culture has the person you present and the emotions you feel, and they're separate. Very often I found myself in front of a person who was presenting in one way and then feeling in their answers or their responses that they were feeling a different way. In a culture like this, and I'm not saying it's all this, but there's a part of that. You see it in the subway, telling you to be a good citizen, don't spit. So there's all this attitude of how somebody should behave in society,
yeah.
and then how they feel. So given what you're dealing with, do you think there are more problems in addressing these issues for men because of the culture of not always saying what you feel or not always showing?
Yeah. So, I mean, what you bring now up is a general thing of humanity to being authentic. Yeah. So we are open the field now. What can men do to be authentic, and why we have the tendency not to be authentic? Why we have the tendency to play something? Yeah. To feel something different and to show up another face. So when we focus there more on the man, when we put our focus on the man side, then I would say the most impact what we had in the last 80 years, that this non-authentic relationships, I would say, came up is the situation that we went into the Second World War. And what there happens, and it's so a long time ago, and we lose that out of our mind, that in the Second World War, you must imagine, every man, every man above 16 and below 60 or 50 had to go to the war. And there happens two things. The first thing is, either the man died, got killed, or the man came back dramatically traumatized. So what means this generation, one generation behind me, the families had only traumatized or dead men in the society. And this had a very dramatic impact, because the women who were alone with the children, they were totally over, how to say in English, they were permanently stressed. Overwhelmed, yeah, because they had to do everything. Yeah? Everything was destroyed. And then there was the child, and the mother, of course, had not the time, had not the inner peace to feed, to nourish them on a non-physical way, on a soul way. And there, in this family where the men came home, the men were totally traumatized, which means they are not emotional available, not even for the woman, and not at all for the children. So we were growing out of a society then where we had no how to say, Vorbilder. What is a Vorbild? We had no man.
We had no point of reference.
We had no male reference, healthy male reference. We had a reference of an overwhelmed mother. And that's how the last generation was growing up. And that was a deep impact into our emotional, mental, and of course also physical life.
It's interesting what you say, because it's represented in different ways around the world. But one thing I read in England was that hooliganism, you know, at the soccer matches and all that, came out of this because the only way they could spend time with men was here. And so whatever that was, they assumed that's how men reacted and what they did. And so in England it was that. In America, and I'd like your reply because it also touches on feminism. In America, in the 1950s, the men went to factories, to offices, to jobs. So yes, you're right. First, there's a generation missing even there. Then, the men are no longer home. The sons and the children no longer see what their father does. He just comes home at night, he's tired, and if he asks his mother, what did father do? She says, he went to work. Mm-hmm. What's his name?
Yeah, and
John Bly, Bly, who wrote Iron John in the 90s, talks about how the women in the 70s, who were now finding their own freedom, raised a generation of men to be perfect for women, but didn't know what a man was. So they raised men that, funnily enough, a whole generation of men are less liked by women than other generations because they're less men. What do you think of that?
Well, let me go first to your example about the hooligans. You know, this is an extremely example what happened when men as a child have not the possibility to go in a deeper connection to the father. So this is a basic need of children to connect emotionally to the father, to get seen by him, to get his reaction of their own emotional reaction. So, but this is only possible with men who grew up in a family where they have a contact to their father themselves. So this what the effect is, that this not fulfilled need of the child produces pain. And when you talk about the hooligans, this pain came out in form of aggressivity. Yeah, they're aggressive. They want to want to fight. You know, because they want to release their pain of not fulfilled boundings as a child to his own father, as a man. I mean, that's what happens when male children have no deeper contact to their father. Then, for example, a hooligan is that what is coming out, yeah, or that was a hooligan do, yeah. When you see a hooligan, he's not a man. A hooligan is not a man who is taking care about the wife, who is taking care work at home. You know. The second question is the second thing is what you were talking about. That because of this unfulfilled need of the man child or male child, this lack of love who a child needs, when a man grew up like this, he tried to fulfill this lack with money. With money he make in the business. So he's only focused to make business, to be successful in his job, to be somebody who gets seen by other people because he have the force, yeah, he have the power. So and this is what happens, what is coming out, and there is no door for their own child to go in a deeper emotional relation.
Yeah, but
And then the woman,
yeah.
And then there's only the woman left.
Okay.
And then the men are emotionally connected to the woman because every child have this need. Yeah. And if there is only the woman, okay, the child connect to the woman, and get his Vorbild. We had this word again. What is Vorbild?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Expectations.
Erwartung, no.
His mentor, his
The boys get
the example, his example.
Yeah, the example of how to live life. The child see only by the woman.
But this is what's interesting, and that's where I want to just go a bit further. My experience, okay? My mother raised me, my father was always traveling, everything like that. I had many reasons to hate my father myself, okay?
Yes.
But I realized later in life that a lot of my reasons were actually reasons my mother gave me. When she would talk about my father, just talking or whatever, complaining, oh, he's always doing this, she didn't understand why he did things, so she told me what she thought of what he did, and I thought that was a man. It wasn't till later in life that my crisis came, realizing that I was angry with my mother, not with my father. I came to understand, living life, that some things do happen, and that some of what he faced, he didn't have a choice. Some yes, some no. I hate him for the things, not hate him, but I attached the things that were his. But because my mother interpreted, I had a view of a man that wasn't complete.
Yeah, I would say that what you describe on your own experience, this is a typical muster, a typical dynamic we see, I would say, in families. And I think in this dynamic there are two aspects to point on or to address. The first is we for example, or when I take your example, when a child or when you were small, when you were a boy, and your father was only working and traveling, your need of emotional contact to the father didn't get fulfilled. Like I told you, like I said before, it was the hooligans. And this is where the hate is coming from, in a deeper level. Yeah, because you were expecting something on a I would say on a level of humanity, which couldn't get fulfilled. And this is the point. It couldn't get fulfilled from his father because he didn't get it. Yeah. And this is what we men have to recognize, to take back this hate. Because when we start to realize, okay, my father couldn't. He couldn't because he didn't get it, what we deeply so needed.
He never got it.
And he never got it. And then we recognize, okay, this hate come out because of the inner lack of love we didn't get. And then we recognize, okay, there is a lack of love. Now, how I am myself as a man able to fulfill this lack? And now the game starts with the care work. When you start with the care work, taking care of your wife, taking care of your children, taking care of your society, you fulfill your own lack of love.
Okay.
Yeah.
One more thing, the responsibility of the community. And I say this because my experience in Italy and in Jordan made me realize that in the past, the responsibility that we're talking about, of examples for boys and things like that, was not the father. The father raised the child, saw him in diapers, saw him do stupid things, was never going to see him as a man. But the community of men around him. I give you one example. In Italy, in every small town, they spend the day playing cards. There are 4 men at the table playing cards. They're usually older. Then there is a circle of men giving advice, making comments. They're middle-aged. And then around them are younger boys. First teenagers, who sometimes say something, not too often, and then the young boys who come and go. It's a progression. You start as a young boy. Then you kind of move into the circle. But when you move from the teenage circle to the inner circle, and you're allowed to stay and have a voice, it is the community of men accepting you as a man. And when you sit at the table, you are an equal man to every other man there. The community has accepted you. Nothing to do with your father. That doesn't exist anymore. They don't play cards, so you can't smoke inside. That is gone. How much is also the lack, we put all the emphasis on what the father did right or wrong. But there's also the community of men lacking.
Yes. I mean, now you open a very big field and a very new field, because what is the responsibility of the society, was your first question. So, if you ask me, this question is problematic because we do not really have a personal impact to the society. We are not able to change the society from outside. So what the only chance to change anything is to be aware what is going on in myself as a man. How can I fulfill the lack I have? And what can I do to start an authentic life and start to be authentic, to live authentic relations? And this is the responsibility of every man, of every human. And then the society will change. And now when you look what forces are against this authentic development, what is against? And if you ask me, I would say the whole economic power of consuming, making money, and listen to the public TV and radio, where you get overwhelmed by fear, what they offer us when they show pictures in the news, that is what this forces against. So, and that it needs to be an increase of consciousness. And this consciousness it can grow mostly only with pain. And then there we are at the beginning of our conversation. We need the pain as medicine to grow ourselves, to increase our consciousness, and then the society can change. And we have to recognize that we have to stop watching the TV, to stop watching the news, because when you listen and watch the news, you see only fear, and the fear closes our soul system. It makes us to machines. Yeah. It takes the humanity from us. We have to be aware that fear steers the world, and we have to release this fear out of our system.
That was